fix this in my eyesight, you deserve it. You all right? Dude, you gotta stop doing that.
Sure that this thing could go down if it starts raining hard. I was trying to make sure that this tent can go down. Apparently, we've got a freaking fan here that's going to prevent it from going down if we need to put it down. Yeah, we just need a knife to freaking cut that off. All right then, folks. For those of you joining us on our live stream here from from Lake Gru, this is the 2020 MasterCraft Pro. Where we got women's slalom skiers on deck, ready to take to the water. Anne-Marie Rablewski, our first competitor, out. Yeah, we need a knife down here to cut this fan away, because if this starts raining, then this thing has to go down. This is the thing that's preventing it.
14 meters, Charlie 1. 14 meters, Charlie 1. 14 meters, Charlie 1. I've been looking at too many ropes today. All right, so here we go. Anne-Marie Rablewski, and the minimum starting line length for the women's competition is 14.25 meters. That's exactly what she's going to be going in on. Boat speed is different, whereas the men actually compete at 58k. The women compete at 55 kilometers an hour. So here we go. This is Anne-Marie Rablewski. A little bit back on the ski, but getting a little bit buffeted by the wind here. Maybe a little bit nervous that she's had to go in on 14.25 meters, a pass that I don't think she's too familiar with starting in, but it is what it is. Anne-Marie Rablewski, opening pass, 14.25 meters. Just trying to keep her direction going across course. And just making sure that everything is on kilter and not looking bad at all from one end of the course to the next. So that's Anne-Marie Rablewski. Her opening pass was 14.25 meters. On dockside, getting ready to take to water herself from Switzerland, it's Raya Yoga.
Okay, you made it.
All smiles now, but that could change. Here we go, Anne-Marie Rablewski. Setting herself up in good shape, riding that Connolly ski.
seems to have settled in a little bit better now. This is Anne-Marie Rablewski, and getting around all 6 buoys there on that particular run of 13 meters. All right then, the conditions here not looking too bad. There is most definitely wind that's blowing at the moment, and looks like it's settled into a true head tail down the lake. It did move a little bit in time for the likes of Freddie Winter. And speaking of which, here's Freddie.
How you doing, Tony?
Hey, not too bad. So I kind of like earwigged and eavesdropped a little bit on what was being said over there, and kind of got a little flustered when the wind changed direction.
I mean, flustered is probably fair. I was sort of ready for a head tail, turned into a bit of a cross breeze, and I didn't get it right, obviously, considering I'm sitting lower than I would like to be. But that's okay. We got another round tomorrow, and I'll be more ready for it.
Of course, that's a timely reminder, because it's 2 rounds of slalom, 1 round today, the other being tomorrow, and it is the top 6, based upon the skier's best score, that will determine whether they make it through to the next round or not, or to the finals rather. Here comes Anne-Marie Rablewski. That's 12 meters. All right, and from a start that didn't look too promising, 2 passes down the line, she seems to have come through in the clutch on 12 meters.
Yeah, I'm not incredibly familiar with Anne-Marie, but she looks like she's doing well. She's riding that Conley, one of our event partners, pretty well. It's a strong tailwind now. This is not really what you ideally want on your third pass, which is probably, with most people being sort of getting ready for their big pass on the 4th pass. She probably doesn't want to feel too flustered on the 3rd pass. But she's through it, and she's set up with a nice little headwind, and she'll be feeling quietly confident, I believe.
All right, so it's 11.25 meters now. The impressive array of skiing there a little bit earlier on in the competition in the men's event. I mean, we had, what was it, of the last 14 skiers, 13 of them got through 10.75 meters and put it into 41 off.
Yeah, I mean, it all felt dialed out there today. Obviously, Chris Eller in the boat. We got a great boat, which we're really proud of. And, coming towards the dock, you got pretty much a nice little headwind. So people would have been feeling pretty confident. Of course, it means that when you come into 41 with that tailwind, the wind was up and down. But yeah, it's been a high standard of skiing so far. Anne-Marie around 1 inside of 2.
Yeah, it looks like that's all she wrote there with 1 buoy at 11.25 meters. Probably won't see her through to the next round, even from this early perspective. But a decent score nonetheless there for Anne-Marie as we take a look at her instant replay.
Yeah, got out there pretty early, dropped that inside shoulder and sort of tried to grab the handle out of 1, which just meant she was just, not moving with the ski, moving with her upper body. It's not what you need to do. The temptation in a headwind is always to go, hard, and you need to, but you kind of got to do it through the wake. So if you're trying to do it in the turns, you're going to get ahead of yourself. You've got too much line tension with the wind pushing you backwards, and that's exactly what happened there.
All right, let's go and hear from Wade.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Wade Cox here on the dock. We just had our first ladies skier, Miss Anne-Marie, run through the 35 or the 12-meter pass, 1 at 38, so it's kind of neat. We flip-flopped the events. The men are going first. Ladies are up now, so it's been kind of neat watching them all sort of hanging around here as the men were going. So perfect conditions. We had a little squall come through just a couple moments ago, but as of right now, perfect little head tail. Back to you, Tony.
All right, then, back with the action. This is Raya Yoga, coming to us out of Switzerland. Not looking bad. Getting some good angle cross course, maintaining her direction. Can't see too much wrong with this on 14.25 meters, and looked like a pretty easy opening pass there, Freddie.
Really easy on the D3 sponsored 14.25 meter line length. Yeah, it looks super easy, and she's riding a good to a really good level here. She's a little bit more down course than what she might want to be, but that offside's looking pretty tasty. It comes through really well, and yeah, she's looking good.
I like that expression, tasty.
That's my aim in life, Tony, is to have a tasty offside. I've been trying for 30 years.
to get a tasty offside.
Yeah. That's every water skier's dream.
Here we go. And by So, continue along, and we'll see if Raya can replicate a tasty offside. Between now and the end, we should be able to recycle every catchphrase from the Fast Show between now and the end.
Righto. Some British television references that maybe some of our international viewers won't get, but we'll try and keep it to somewhat of a minimum to keep.
Oh, they will. All right, then. Here we go, Raya Yoga. This is 13 meters.
She does a good job. I mean, I coach at, most days of the week. I've been coaching this week, and I've been telling a lot of people to move with your feet and not with your shoulders. And that's something that people don't do very well on their offside turns. She's moving really well with her feet. I mean, like I said, I talked about that offside in the first pass, and I can definitely still see it here. She gets out there. She's a little front foot heavy in places, but then she moves those feet really well, and that's where she gets hooked up really well out of the turn. And you can see that ski just in a very defined movement. It's great.
Yeah, like that number 2 and number 4 coming right at us here, and just really moving her feet, really moving that ski across course nice and efficiently. We'll see if she can do the same thing on 12 meters, which is going to be the next pass. We've seen one person go through 12 meters, and that's our previous competitor, Anne-Marie Rablewski. All right, so Will in sync with Raya, and behind that 2021 edition of the MasterCraft Pro Star. Coming into the course at 55k or 34 miles an hour, this is Raya Yoga.
Wind's just died down a little bit. She's been fairly fortunate there. This is about as good as it's been all day. Deep at 1, good 2. I'm liking that offside. Brings that handle high at 3, over to 4. She's late, but she should be good so long as she can. Yep, she gets it. Bit of slack, but she's good. So, yeah, actually perfect conditions right now. Just enough wind to take the chop off the water. Take the texture off the water, and we're set. She's got a really nice slight head breeze coming into her 38 off or 11 meter pass.
All right then, Toblerone tasty, round that number 2. That's my favorite chocolate. I love Swiss
Toblerone.
Chocolate. Yes,
yeah,
Toblerone.
Yeah. Of course, your good friend Vince Stadelbauer, a Swiss, would I'm sure be all about the Toblerone.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, he doesn't keep a stock of it.
That's very disappointing.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm on the dock here with Miss Anne-Marie Rablewski, and first off the dock in the ladies slalom, and you ripped it up, huh?
Yeah, that was really exciting. I'm just glad that I was able to keep my head up through my 35 and just make it through it.
Well, she's a little nervous standing with me with my deep voice. She said she skied good, and she's looking forward to the next round. Back to you, Tony.
All right, a skier whom we'll definitely hear more of in the future, Anne-Marie Rablewski. Here comes Raya. And taking in a lot of speed and trying to get a little bit of separation away from the handle into the turn, but unfortunately comes up short, and it is half a buoy on 11.25 meters for Raya Yoga.
Yeah, we kind of saw that the whole way through her set. I talked about her offside being really good, but she tends to bring the handle in quite high and quite early on her onside, which puts her on the tail of the ski, loading the fin. And here, the tail just dug right into the water. The tip came up, so she didn't have that accelerating edge to move her across into buoy 2. It's a shame. I feel like if she'd have got across to buoy 2 with that offside that I'm such a fan of, she might have had a good chance.
I felt a little bit she may have gone in a little bit too aggressively with the gate shot into buoy number 1, and she just didn't have enough resistance behind the boat to keep that angle going and to keep that line tight.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe overloaded, that spring effect. The boat and the rope combined, they are, there's somewhat of a spring in there. The more you pull against it, the more it's going to say no and pull against you. So you got to make sure that you're not overdoing it in the wrong spot.
All right, then. So there are the stats for Raya Yoga: 534, 3.7 to 1 against her body weight of 143. Man, that was so many years ago now.
What's that?
Me weighing 143.
Me too.
There you go. All right, then. Here we go. Jessie Duperton coming into the course on 14.25 meters for her opening pass.
So Jessie and I are kind of buddies. We were at a wedding together the Friday just before Swiss, so 2.5 weeks ago. Well, no, 2 weeks ago today, actually.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. She's riding that radar ski. She's looking good. She's fired up. It's great to see her entering all these tournaments. She was at Malibu. She was at Swiss, and here she is today at the MasterCraft Pro.
All right, indeed, and taking a really, really aggressive approach with the tailwind on the opening pass. Just trying to get a feel for the wind, feel how strong it is, and then she can make the adjustments with the second pass coming up, which is going to be 13 meters. And while we wait for Jessie to come back into the course, we'll check in with Wade on the dock.
Here with Alicia Bagnoli. So we've actually done a lot of events now together, sort of behind the scenes. You leave the starting dock, you go dry off, and then you go back behind, right?
Yeah, you're right. I was just there helping out Vince with the webcast, and I just waited until Friday was done, and then I just ran back here. I like it, though. The only thing that I don't like is double pressure, but I truly like both of them, and I enjoy the conditions today, so I hope I'm going to put out a good score, and we'll see.
Well, we've had both our first ladies run through the 12 pretty easy, and it's always nice when, there's already a nice pace set, right?
Yeah, for sure. There is a little bit of a tailwind for the 12. Definitely pressure from the first two skiers that they ran 12 tailwind, but, well, I need to run 12 to get 38 anyway, so we'll see how it's going to go. I'm positive about it.
Well, you got a lot of fans at home in Italy, and back to you, Tony.
All right, there we just see the tail end of Jessie Duperton. We'll have a look at her instant replay, but on the dock there was Alicia Bagnoli. We'll look forward to seeing her ski at skier number 6. We are on skier number 3 right now, so a little ways to go. But what do you see here from Jessie?
Aggressive onside. I really like that. She's really going for it there. That buoy 1 was big. She rides, so you can see the tail of that ski just sliding around and then sticking really well. She's got that ski set up to a very good level, and over she comes from 5 to 6, not even an issue. Nice little headwind. As I said, not to go on about the conditions, but they do make a big difference to our skiers. The wind is up and down, so there's going to be a little bit of luck for all of our female skiers, as there maybe was a little bit for the men. It was times when it was easier than others. But we're gonna, that's gonna be a factor going through this event.
And I saw a little bit there with Jessie Duperton, and a quite aggressive and a purveyor of the old-fashioned double pump technique.
Yep, yeah. Well, she gets over so early after that big onside turn that she does sort of double pump just a little bit at 2 and 4. There's two schools of thought on that. I mean, sometimes I feel like it can put you off balance. Big 1,
like
over
that.
2. She should have this, but 4 could be tricky. Needs a big 4, big 5 coming up. Bam, and she'll have this in the bag.
Very aggressive.
Good for her. I like seeing this. I mean, it is interesting. You know, these are passes that these girls all think they should run. I mean, they all are all, you know, very capable of running 35, but with that tailwind, it's maybe giving them a little bit of a fright, a few nerves.
Okay, let's go into a deep dive with this technique going in towards number 1. Up, down.
You see the ski she pushed it pretty hard, so the ski just kind of popped out of the water a little bit. You know, as this line gets shorter, you do want to continue to see the tip of the ski stay low and you know, the water breaking through the, you know, on the front foot at the end of the turn. We're not seeing it as much, but I have a good feeling. The lead right now is 1. I have a good feeling with this big onside turn that she has, she's going to feel good about getting to 2, especially in a little bit of a headwind.
All right, then, as we continue right along, our audience prizes are still very much up for grabs. If you can accurately predict the men's podium, you could win yourself a D3 ski of your choice, any size, any ski in the D3 range. And if you accurately predict the women's competition, you can get yourself a Conley DV8 slalom ski signed by world champion Manon Costard.
What a deal!
Yeah, absolutely.
What a deal! I mean,
Free to enter too.
No excuse not to enter.
All right, here we go. Now, this is 11.25 meters. 1 buoy is the lead, and now it's 1.5.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that was maybe not the smartest skiing she could have done. She probably should have gone for the S-turn there on her offside. She's given, you know, the people following her, while taking the lead, she's given them more of a chance. She gets over here, she's loaded, and she's pulling long to 2, and I feel like, you know, you might have seen a bit of an S-turn. She just didn't obviously get the full 2 buoys because she went for the taking of the hit versus the sneaky S-turn.
Hey, so Tony, I'm standing here with Regina Jaquiss, and I'm one of your biggest fans. I've watched you grow up from this little baby, and now you're like all time of all time. So last event of the year, but it's like a good vibe going down here.
Yes, of course, and you know, thanks for the compliment. You've been in my corner since I was that little bitty kid, and I was watching you on all the pro tours, and you were coaching me. I've been to your place and everything, so it's an honor to have you say that. But yeah, it's awesome to be here at our pro event. We've got all the girls showing up. We've got our future juniors. Ali Garcia is about to hit the water, so it's awesome to have all the girls here and doing our last event. So it's great. It is good vibes.
And there's somebody you want to say hi to at home.
Oh, of course, like all our locals and Emerald Coast Compounding Pharmacy, the girls are watching while they're working, and thanks for letting me be here, supporting my other career that I do, and I know they're watching and pulling for me, so thank you.
Cool, back to you, Tony. Thanks, Regina.
All right, here we go, our next competitor up. This is Alex Garcia. And obviously that little smile from Jessie Duperton, an early candidate for the women's crash of the weekend, which I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a prize on offer. But there you go. That is Alex Garcia, one in no part of that whatsoever.
So Ali was part of the photo shoot and video shoot we did out here at this very lake in you know, end of April. We had this, you know, super secret shoot where you know, we were all socially distancing, but no one could know about it, of course, because we had a brand new boat that no one had seen. We were 2 months prior to launch. So Ali's been doing a few laps. She did a lot of skiing over those couple of days behind this boat, and I think she is even on the thumbnail for this very webcast. Ali was turning a big onside turn, a buoy 3, with myself in the driver's seat, actually.
Was that you in the driver's seat, or was that Taylor?
No, well, don't go down that path, Tony. Come on. No, it was definitely me. Although a lot of people have been mixing us up.
But there you go. All right, then. So here's the remainder of our running order. We got Chelsea Mills up next, followed by Alicia Bagnoli, Elizabeth Montavon, Luisa Jaramillo. We've got Paige Rini, Karen Trulove, Ellie Nicholson, and the rest of the running order you can find at waterskibroadcasting.com to stay on track with this event. All right, then, here we go. This is Ali Garcia, a student at the University of Alabama. Oh, very aggressive. 5, actually 3 into 4, as a matter of fact. There you go.
Ali's a really cool story, actually, because she was, for many years in water skiing, the younger sister of Taylor, who wasn't, sort of known in that way. She wasn't the best skier herself, and then she decided at some point just to put everything into it and to become a great skier, and she certainly has. And to see her, I think she ran at the Malibu Open, I believe she ran 5 at 38, which would have been fairly unthinkable, even just maybe a couple of years ago. And she's really improving. She looks great on a slalom ski. And it's great to see, these young girls really pushing.
All right, Ali Garcia. 2 passes to the good, 14.25 meters and 13 meters. That's 28 and 32 off for those of you that like to use the old parlance of determining line length shortenings.
Tony, you're dragging water skiing into the future with metric, kicking and
screaming. But there we go. We're not quite at the point where we're actually using kilograms quite yet with the rope tension, but 492, 3.1 to 1 against a weight of 159. That is Jessie Duperton.
I just think that if you're going to talk about it in pounds, it just feels so much grander. When you can get to close to 1,000 pounds, you feel better than getting close to 450 kilos or whatever that is.
You are absolutely right. So, look at this. This now is 12 meters, staying aggressive. Can always get yourself out of 1 or 2 tricky situations if you stay aggressive. And there you go. That is Ali Garcia.
I'm impressed with that. Her 1 and 2 were not good. She does tend to rock back a little bit, kind of how we saw Raya ski a couple of skiers ago. Rocks back out of the onside. So you see it there with the water breaking quite far back on the ski. Usually she can rely on her offside. It wasn't great. Had to pull pretty hard, but then 3-4 definitely put her way back in it, and it was a cakewalk from there.
Yeah, not looking bad at all. A little bit jumpy at the end of the turn, but when you're that aggressive towards the end, then you're really not going to be all that smooth. But whatever gets the job done, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I think all this super high technology broadcasting that you guys are doing is actually really unfair because it makes everyone look bad. It used to be zoomed out camera from about 500 feet away, but now you can see every detail. So great for the viewer, but when you watch yourself back, you always feel a little bit bad. You're like, man, that doesn't look good. That's ugly.
Well, we're gonna be introducing some more highly technical stuff into the webcast in future editions. Might even go for respiration and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I have no doubt that you guys are pushing the boundaries as hard and as fast as you can, which is great, and that's why water skiing has really got a chance to get big, I believe. So this is 38.
Yep, it's 38.
So she's in the lead, and she's actually in it. Better 1 and 2.
Whoa. And that is going to be 3, I believe.
I'm going to call that 3. I'm not a qualified judge, but looked like she kind of got across the wakes. Bit of a shame. That 1 and 2 was really good, and I think, looking at her face, maybe a little disappointed, but 1 and 2 were quite beautiful, and then 3 just pulled the hand a little high. The tip came up, and a lot of pressure through her body with so much of the ski up in the air. So yeah, couldn't get around. That's a good one, and really put the pressure in the right spot. Beautiful too. I'm quite jealous of her offside, honestly. And then here, you just watch that handle come in high, and then out the tail of the ski. And if she'd have held on just a little bit longer, she might have done a Jamie Bull at the...
like I said right from the beginning, she wants no part of that crash of the day competition.
No, I'd say that's... no one really does, to be honest.
No, I don't want a face full of ski, thank you very much. All right, then. So Ali Garcia is in the lead with a 3 buoy count at 11.25 meters. Looks like we've got a scratch for our next competitor, who is Chelsea Mills. So instead, we're going to bring in Alicia Bagnoli into the course for her opening pass on 14.25 meters.
I might have a bit of insight with Chelsea. I think she's got a work commitment today, but she might be turning up for tomorrow because, of course, you don't need 2 scores, you only need 1. So she's going to put it all on Saturday, which would be great, and we like to see that. So here's Alicia, someone that, Tony, you're very familiar with, given her association with the Water Ski Broadcasting Company.
Yes.
She works just as hard as all of you, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone thinks they work the hardest. Alicia, you can always see her running around, getting things done, and I'm sure she's a bit of a jack of all trades when it comes to the broadcasting, having learnt from the best.
Yeah, she is definitely on a very, very steep learning curve, put it that way.
Yeah.
But I tell you, on the slalom course, she is about as aggressive as it gets, you know. I mean, she's not the tallest slalom skier, but I tell you what, you can just see the strength that she employs in making these turns happen and then getting cross course behind the boat.
We've seen 3 skiers on the good, all lefties, in about the last four or five skiers, and good to see Good, another partner of this tournament. We're very grateful for them, along with all of our other partners.
Hey, on the dock here, this is Wade again with Luisa Jaramillo. I kind of messed that up, I know, but she's here chatting with her brother. So a little bit different. Your brother skied first this morning, and now you guys are skiing.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to get the guys to ski first, and now we're up. But I'm excited. It looks very good out there.
So we have a top 6. You get to ski again tomorrow. So maybe what are some goals or objectives for today?
Well, kind of try to get deep into 38, maybe some at 39, but yeah, that's what I'm going for today.
All right, well, good luck. Back to you, Tony.
All right, back on with Alicia Bagnoli. In a second, we'll hear a little bit from Ali Garcia. But so far as performing on the water, Alicia Bagnoli doing a fantastic job out there with the opening 2 passes of 14 and 30 meters back to back. And we'll take a little bit of a look at this instant replay. And what do you see here, Freddie?
Just look at that commitment she has on her onside. She's a lefty, so that easier turn for the lefty traditionally is 135. And watch her come into buoy 3, drop that hip and just commit. And you can just see how well that ski turns, gets set in the water and sets her across towards the offside. It's great to see. That's awesome skiing.
All right, so we'll bring Alicia Bagnoli back into the course. She'll attempt 12 meters. We'll look forward to seeing her perform.
You're in all the commercials.
All right, here we go. 12 meters now. This is Alicia Bagnoli. Boat speed accelerating up to 55 kilometers an hour. Line length 35 off, the standard 75-foot line, leaving it with 40 feet of rope to get around all 6 buoys. Ooh, aggressive there off that particular turn, off number 3 into 4. Oh, and going down early there to 35 off. That is going to be a 4.5 buoy count.
That's a shame. I thought she was in it. She really had a great 3, and I mean, I feel a little bit bad there. I was talking about how much she committed on her onside, and she went, for a really big 5 and just didn't have the line there with the tailwind pushing her forward and sort of into the rope, as it were. So she had a bit of slack. So she just she wasn't able to get out of that turn.
Yeah, just looking at it, I mean, she looked pretty aggressive, but from here, she could have just calmed down a little bit and still would have run the pass, but, just one of those things, I suppose. So there we go, that's Alicia Bagnoli. So, we'll have a look at this instant replay from a different perspective, and Freddie, you see anything that contradicts what you've already set up to this point?
She pulled the handle in pretty early. Like I said, you got less tension in the rope and a tailwind, so pulled the handle in early at 1. But watch this 3. This was beautiful. Really moved the ski through, and I thought, okay, that's it. That'll be easy from here. 4 wasn't terrible. A little bit on the tail, but it's good. And then I talked about the drop of the hip earlier, and the hip dropped, and she just didn't have any rope at the end of that turn.
All right then, so clowns to the left of her and jokers to the right. This is Ali stuck in the middle. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to be here, really.
And you must be pretty excited right now because you've got the lead score of a 3 at 11.25 meters. Do you reckon that will hold up?
I don't think so. There's some pretty awesome girls on the dock right now, all really talented and capable of getting down that 38 off. So I'm happy with my score, but I'm definitely hoping to push it a bit more next round.
Excellent stuff, and we certainly wish you the best of luck going forwards, Ali Garcia. You go towel yourself off and get dry and relax and watch the remainder of the skiing for the day.
Good job, Ali.
All right then, now our next competitor on the water. This is Elizabeth Montavon. Now here's a skier that's come on in leaps and bounds in the last few weeks, and it started in March where she placed on the podium at the Moomba Masters.
You know, I hate to contradict you there, Tony. I'm not sure she did place on the podium at Moomba.
Well, she got to the Moomba Masters.
She was in the finals.
High. She was in the finals, yeah.
Yeah, she was in the finals and she skied great. I mean, she ran like 3.5 at 38 in the first round at Moomba and did incredibly well. She's someone we haven't really seen on the ski scene too much, or I should say on the pro tournaments until fairly recently. But she's really turned up and really sort of made a name for herself as someone that can challenge. She'll run, a couple at 39, maybe 3 at 39 on her good days. And we saw her at Travers. She went out first in the 3 lady final and ran over 3, super close. So she's really there and she's improving, which is great.
And exhibiting a little bit of technique from the likes of Chet Rayleigh, where it's all about getting that alignment as quickly as possible and just using some good leverage behind the boat to get from one side of the course to the other.
She certainly has leverage. She comes into the buoys, you'll see on her next pass, quite far on the back of the ski, but she really maneuvers the nose around really well. She skis very upright. She has quite not much knee bend. But she does a good job getting side to side. I believe she's on a whisper fin, which is one of our, again, tournament partners. And she uses that to, I think since she's got on there, that's where she's seen a lot of improvement. So that's really interesting and, doing really well with that.
Interesting stuff. And for those of you that are looking to score yourself a big old ski prize, like this Conley in front of us, then go to waterskibroadcasting.com and enter your Predictor Podium contest, our audience prize contest, and you could be in the frame to win yourself either a D-Free Slalom skier of your choice or the Conley DV8 signed by Manon Costard. Here we go.
And why wouldn't you enter that? I mean, never a better deal in water skiing, I wouldn't say.
Here we go. Here's Elizabeth Montavon. Not looking bad at all, and in very, very good shape. Very good rhythm, as a matter of fact, there with the opening couple of passes. Now, by about this time, you should have most of your technique and most of your rhythm dialed in, so that by the time you get to 12 meters and 11.25 meters, it becomes more instinctive rather than having to think your way through.
Yeah, that's a big lesson for people entering tournaments at any level. Is it's not just about going out there and not really focusing on your first couple of passes because you feel like you're going to run it. You've got to, every skier that's gone out today so far and all the guys that are going out, or the ladies that are going out in the next, 8 or so skiers, they're going to be really feeling what the boat's doing in the first couple of passes and the way they're syncing up with the driver. And Elizabeth's doing that pretty well here. Just watch for that, as she's coming around the back end of the turn, watch the way that tip comes through.
Hey guys, sorry about the mic issues. We're with Whitney McClintock-Rini. Your new baby Zane sitting over there. A little different, huh, being a mommy and skiing?
Definitely a little bit different. I signed up for these tournaments thinking, oh yeah, for sure I'll be ready in a couple weeks of being back on the water. Well, it's definitely a little different having the baby, being up all night and not getting to the lake every day. But I'm here, I'm enjoying my time at the lake, and this is a whole new life for me.
Smiling, having fun as always. Back to you, Tony.
All right, back with Elizabeth Montavon now. This is 12 meters. Nice shot there of Whitney McClintock-Rini and also Zane Rini and Matt Rini back there. On there with the dock with Wade and back here with our instant replay. Is there anything that you see here that's a little out of the ordinary there, Freddie?
She's finishing pretty far back on the ski out of her offside turn. You see this on buoy 2 here. Yeah, like kind of the handle came in a little bit high, and you know, like I've been saying, when in that tailwind, you do have less line tension, so it's easy to kind of pull that towards you.
All right, so looking at the tail end of this 12-meter pass, wind is gusting a little up and down, and it is a true head-tail, and we'll be back right after this.
Lessons learned from the silent flight of owls has been applied to aerospace and to Formula One racing. Now, they've been applied to the water ski fin. Coming soon, the Whisper Fin Pro.
All right, there is Elizabeth Montavon, who's a marketing consultant who comes to us out of the southern portion of this great state of Florida.
Yeah, she skis down there at West Palm, I believe.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. This is Elizabeth Montavon, having cleared 12 meters. This is now 11.25. Now, she will take the lead if she gets more than 3. Does she make a play on 3? No, so it's going to be a tie for the lead between her and Ali Garcia. It's going to be a 3-buoy count at 11.25 meters. Now, into a head breeze, you would expect a little bit of an easier attempt on this because of the stopping power of the headwind, but it didn't really work out for her too much.
Yeah, I'm just watching her offside. I think she was kind of in it, I think, and then watch the handle maybe come up a little bit high here at 3. No, she found herself suddenly really narrow. So you can see she just realized last minute how narrow she was. She kind of threw the ski out a little bit extra, which is fine. It'll get you around the buoy, but it's not going to do your balance any favors. And of course, you know, with everything happening so fast, you need to get as much balance as possible and maintain it. So yeah, not the score she's looking for. That headwind, as much as it is often your friend, I mean, it can slow you down. I was just watching here. I feel like she wasn't in terrible shape, but she gets out, and you see that little flinch there. That little flinch just meant that she thought she was wider than she was, and yeah, that's 3 buoys.
All right then, here we go. Hailing out of Colombia. This is Luisa Jaramillo, and certainly a skier that's been making a name for herself in recent weeks. She skied pretty well at the Swiss Pro, and is a graduating senior out of South Walton High School up there in the Panhandle, not too far away from Santa Rosa Beach, and doing a great job there.
I like how you have everyone's background, Tony. You're a true professional. You know everything about everyone.
I try.
Now, I heard the other day that her and Federico are twins.
They are.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I wonder how many sports, you know, in the world have a pro event happening where a male and female twin are competing on the same day in the same tournament.
And he too is also a graduating senior from the previously mentioned high school.
That makes sense, actually, doesn't it?
Yes,
You'd hope so.
Yes. But there you go, nicely done. Luisa doing a fine job there. Very light on the slalom ski, it looks like. I mean, she just turns to one position, hooks up, and just it's off to the races.
Now, the reason I was hesitant to disagree with you earlier, Tony, but I believe it was actually Luisa that came 3rd at Moomba this year. I think she ran 2 or maybe 3 at 38 at Moomba and got on the podium, which was, you know, for someone of her age to go there and ski like that, I was certainly very impressed.
Yeah.
And there are just some skiers out there that really revel in the, you know, in rough water conditions. You know, I mean, like Benny Stadelbauer for like so often has been on the podium at like Moomba Masters, you know, and Moomba is notoriously Rough.
It's horrible. I've been watching on YouTube a lot of the Moombas from the old days. Worth a YouTube that if you type in Moomba finals, and you can watch a lot of the broadcasts from back in the day. Last night was 1994. I saw Drew Ross skiing, not to his best, but yeah, Moomba's insane. Very, very scary competition. But you know, shows the guys that can go there and the girls that can go there and ski really well. It shows that they're super balanced, that their turns are very even, that they're able to kind of make it work no matter if they feel a little bit, you know, nervy into the turns. They feel they can rely on their turns, both sides. Those are the guys that prosper there.
And showing a little bit of that balance right now. Right foot forward skier, which means that she has a better gate shot in 2-4. And let's hear from Wade.
Hey, thanks, Tony, at the dock here with Elizabeth Montavon. And you've been having quite the year for this sort of half year that we're having at the back half. So pretty darn good score so far, right?
Yeah, you know, I'll take it. Between the water cooling down a little bit and then the headwind, I think we were getting a lot of decel into the buoy, and that just kind of caught me off guard. So, you know, next round, stay on the handle a little bit longer, carry a little bit more speed longer, and I think everybody's figuring that out. We'll see a lot of 38s go down either at the end of this round and definitely a lot next round.
Well, you're the second skier that we've heard talk about the water temp cooling down. It's still kind of like Florida, but it makes a difference, doesn't it?
It definitely does. It's definitely fall. I have a feeling, you know, a few people wish they had tweaked their fin before they got here, but like I said, it's still great skiing. It's definitely Florida, so we're all used to this, and it's going to be a great tournament.
Cool. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you once again, Wade. And we've got Luisa Jaramillo. Oh, and on 11, that was 11.25 meters, and that was actually 12 meters as a matter of fact, so it looks like didn't exactly get the best of starts there, so it's going to be a 2.5 buoy count on 12 meters, and that is definitely going to put her way behind the 8 ball when it comes to deciding who of the skiers will make it through to the next round.
Just you see that buoy one. We might see another replay in a second, but just looking back on that, just had so much weight on the front foot and kind of grabbed that spare hand, the non-handle hand over the top, which left her hips behind her with her shoulders forward. So the ski wasn't gliding around her. It was sort of, you know, stamped into the water. It stuck. That was going to be really hard for her to get back from that.
All right then, and timely reminder from D3 that you could win one of their slalom skis, whether it be the Ion or the NRG or any of the D3 slalom skis in their range, by going to waterskibroadcasting.com. That's waterskibroadcasting.com. And enter the audience prize. And there is our top 6 right now. Montavon and Garcia in a tied lead with 3 at 38 off. Jesse Duperton with 1.5 at 38 off. Anne-Marie Rablewski with 1 at 38. Raya Yoga with half, and Bagnoli with 4.5 at 35. So those are your top 6 as they stand right here, right now.
I'm just looking, seeing how many we have left. I believe that after Paige, we'll have a top 6 score. With 6 skiers remaining.
Exactly. Well, by the time Karen Truelove gets off the water, then would have our bubble scores, so to speak. And there is the list of skiers to come. There are 7 remaining. The top 6 advance through, but don't forget we've got a second round of women's slalom tomorrow, so not all cut and dry just yet.
But something for people to aim for, you know, with the aim of backup scores and stuff. You definitely want to be getting in the top 6 today, if at all possible. Make you sleep a little bit easier tonight. Quite funny there, just looking at that surname start list, I'm going, hang on a second, there's 2 Rinis in there. There's been a mistake, but no, we've got Whitney skiing against Paige. Quite funny.
Yeah, indeed.
Of course, Whitney on the comeback trail, 2-time world champion, many times Moomba and US Masters champion, coming back from having a baby. So here's Paige, and Paige is on that beautiful white ski from Radar. I've seen that ski a fair bit. Brooks Wilson was out skiing with me late last year, and I just think it's a beautiful looking thing.
Yeah, not looking too bad there. And there's one thing about a technique that I'm going to try and point out and see if we can break down a little bit, and it's this: the one-handed loose line gate shot.
Yeah, not often you'll see a one-handed gate turn these days. I gave mine up about, I don't know, I guess a year and a half ago now, maybe 2 years. But yeah, you definitely need to, move with your feet there, like I keep saying. But, moving with your feet there and not putting the hand in front of you is the way to go. And yeah, she did look like she had a bit of a loose line there on the gate. But I mean, I'm sure she'll tidy that up for her later passes.
And the thing that kind of gets me a little bit with the one-handed gate shot, and we'll explain this in a moment as we see Paige Rini, but we'll return to more discussion right after this. Then, so we see Karen Trulove on the starting dock, but the thing that I was mentioning with the one-handed gate shot, and you're actually going to see it again, and you're going to actually see a contrast here when it works into the headwind, is one's ability to regulate the tension on that line as you get ready to whip that ski round in for the entrance gates, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. That's probably one of the reasons I moved away from the one-handed gate, is that it's actually if you do it well and you do it consistently, it's fine. But if you mess up, and especially in a tailwind where you feel yourself just being thrown down the lake with nothing being able to do, also undershooting, you've got nothing. You can't do anything. So this was a better gate, I'd say. That headwind, agreed. Amazing buoy one.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Fantastic buoy one. That's as good of as a turn as I've seen all day.
She was definitely in sync with that one.
That's great. She does a great job of keeping her shoulders level around the back of that onside turn instead of dropping it. So the ski just comes through, and you can see the water just never really leaving just in front of the middle of her front foot.
And a great looking pass. Absolutely. I mean, no two ways about that as Will Bush gets ready to mash down that throttle on that ProStar 6.0 liter Ilmor engine, 430 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. Rawr, rawr, rawr.
That's pretty exciting, isn't it, Tony?
Yes.
That's a lot of power right there in that boat.
Power. Like Jeremy Clarkson. Power. All right, then, here we go. This is Paige Rini.
What pass are we on here? This would be 12, or would this be 11?
Yeah, this will be 12 meters.
12 meters in the tailwind. A little on the front there, bit the ski bit, but I'm pretty confident in that onside. Looks fantastic.
And seems to have cat-like reflexes out there. How on earth she stays on top of that ski with some of those turns is remarkable.
Well, she's a three-eventer. I think that helps. She's very in tune, not just with a slalom ski, but with the water in general, jumping and tricking as she does, and having done it for so long. Yeah, let's look at buoy 2. This was the key buoy in the past. 1 was good again, but then just maybe got on the front here, so you'll see the ski just bite, and her shoulders just being a little bit in front of her hips. But great buoy 3, and that really got her back into it, and from there it really wasn't an issue. Yeah, great 4 again. And you just see that's where, as the standard of skier increases as we go down this list towards the really top ranked people, you can just see these 12 meter or 35 off tailwind passes just looking easier and easier. And yes, Paige made a little bit of a mistake there at buoy 2, but not really an issue.
All right then, so as we look over and see Karen Trulove get ready for her turn out there on the slalom course, and seeing a little bit of green tape there in front of it, probably 1 or 2 reminders as she goes along what her focal points are out there on the slalom course.
Karen's sponsors I can see on that ski: MasterCraft boats, good skis, and OJ props, all part of this this whole production today, which is great.
All right, let's have a look. 11.25 meters for Paige Rini. Round buoy number, all getting into all kinds of shape. Round buoy number 1 and round number 2. There we go, round number buoy. Oh, she S-turns on buoy number 3 to get to the wakes. It's a 3-way tie for the lead now with Paige Rini.
So, a little surprise to you there. Her onside has just been crushing the first 3 passes, and we saw her get to 1, and I think maybe just a little bit aggressive, maybe a little bit eager, you know. Should have left that handle there and let the ski rotate underneath the line, but you saw her just kind of pull the handle across and finish on the tail. 2 was pretty good considering, and that's pretty smart skiing with that S-turn, because let me just count. I'm going to have to use all my fingers here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Paige, with 6 skiers remaining, is in the joint lead.
All right, so there is Paige Rini, 5:42, 4-to-1 ratio against her weight of 334 pounds right there. You saw the latest stats. And there is your current top 6 right now. 3-way tie for the lead between Garcia, Montavon, and Rini. Then the others, Duperton, Rablewski, and Yoga, the only other competitors to make it through onto 11.25 meters. They represent the top 6. And here we go, Karen Truelove coming in on the pass of 14.25 meters.
So Karen and I and Freddie, her husband, Freddie Kruger, of course, have been in a lot of contact the last few weeks. We've all been trying to help, make this tournament happen and make it as good as possible. In the same way that I've been annoying you and Vince with lots of phone calls about graphics and all that sort of boring stuff. But so Karen has been an integral part of the tournament production process. So it's now time for her to take that hat off and put a skiing one on. And yeah, I'd love to see for Karen to do really well here.
All right, Karen Truelove, and resident of Central Florida these days, but originally out of Fuquay Varina in North Carolina, which is just a little ways south of Raleigh-Durham.
That's quite a name, isn't it?
Fuquay Varina.
Fuquay Varina. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. That's a different part of the world.
Thanks, Tony. Wade Cox at the dock here with Miss Paige Rini. You just finished up your first round, 3 at 38, right? Yeah. And so what were the conditions like out there?
They actually weren't as bad as I was expecting them to be. I was hoping for a little bit more, but it's okay. I have another round tomorrow, so.
So yeah, that sits you sort of right there on the cut line, if you will. So what changes might you be thinking for the second round?
My goal is ultimately to just run 38 every round of every tournament. So if I run 38 tomorrow, I'm going to be happy. So.
Well, there we go. I see smiles. I think it's going to happen.
All right, then, on the water, here is... Oh, Karen getting in all kinds of shape there. This is 13 meters. How on earth she's able to salvage this pass and still get round buoy number 6 and run it, I do not know. That was an absolutely atrocious number 2.
Yeah, very strange. Now, hands up in the air. She's all a bit confused. I'm excited to see this again. And like I was saying earlier, your first 2 passes...
So looking at this with Karen Truelove, and we're looking at her number 2 and just letting the ski come round and just got broken over. Got broken over off buoy number 2. We're going to run this through to the end of the pass, and then we're going to listen in from Wade, but just looking at this, lucky enough to actually make it through, and that is just a sign of a really, really determined athlete out there. It's a 6 buoy count, and 12 meters comes up next, but we're going to hear from... We're actually going to take a look inside our towboat, which I'm sure there's plenty of relief discussion there.
They're having a little giggle.
Yeah,
Will
I'm
there?
sure. I mean, I'm sure. Probably Karen's giggling the hardest right now after that.
Yeah, well, Karen probably wanted to settle her nerves maybe in the first 2 passes, but she won't have felt that. But she's coming into 35. And let's see how she goes. She's going to want to improve on that boy too, of course. Good one.
12 meters.
Much better too. Pretty conservative. Good 3.
I think she got a little bit of a wake-up call on that previous pass, and because she is slicing and dicing this like we know her to be capable of.
Yeah, that was a lot better, a lot more what she wants to be doing, especially with 3 boys to beat on the next pass. As the wind's kind of coming up here a little bit, so she's going to have some gusts on her 38. It seems to be less of a headwind for her. It's going to be a crosswind pushing her directly back towards the gate from boy 1. So she's going to have to make sure she's wide on the gate here to get enough speed to get around boy 1.
All right, so Karen Truelove getting 6 buoys on 12 meters. We'll catch up on 11.25 meters and back with us. And let's have a look at the remainder of the running order. Ellie Nicholson coming up next. And Karen's score is like 6 from last out, you know. So I mean, we've got 5 skiers remaining. So whoever's in the lead at this point, after that point, gives us a pretty good indication of who could potentially make it through to the next round. All right, so strongest pull of the event gets a $500 bounty, and I think a rope courtesy of Radar, I believe.
I believe so. So big pass coming in here for Karen. She really needs to get around boy 4 to set herself apart for tomorrow. It'll give her some confidence if you can do that. Over to 1, pretty good 1. Needs 2 to work better than that. 2. This is much better. All right, come on, Karen.
Much better. Round buoy number 3. She makes a play on 4. She has the lead, but she still has the ski out in front of her, and she gets 5. Yes, indeed, and she has the lead now with a 5 buoy count, 11.25 meters. And, you know, she still exhibits a little bit of disappointment there, even though she's taken the lead. But I think a lot of that disappointment manifested itself on 13 meters.
I mean, it's one thing to make the top 6 and sort of feel that you've got a really good chance of making the final, but if you do it in a sort of weird way, it's not really giving you confidence, because obviously the aim is not for her to make the final. The aim is for her to win the tournament. She's not here to make up the numbers, so that's maybe some of that frustration that she's taken the lead, yes, but she's not really happy with how she skied.
And she gets around number 5 to the wakes. Yep, that's 5 right there.
Pretty easy 5, solid S turn. She didn't want to really go for it and potentially fall and get 4.5. But I mean, she definitely, you know, after that pretty good 1, she was nervous probably of that boy 2, that she was going to do the same thing that she did at 13 or 32 off. Little on the tail here at 3, but 4 was solid enough, and that's fine. She'll take the lead. She's got something to take to tomorrow. She'll feel good that she outperformed everyone else so far today.
All right then. So skier on the water right now is Ellie Nicholson. This is a 14.25 meter opener as we catch up with her on buoy number 4, 5, and number 6.
Ali, the first of our female skiers on an HO ski, and looks very good on it. She's been part of their team for a little while and does a great job helping them, I think, develop. Okay, the signal that I'm getting from our control is it's a 13-meter start. So that's a good big call there, because she's going to be taking 38, of which she needs 5.5 or 5.25, any piece 6 to take the lead, but she's going to take it in this tailwind that is up and down. So I like that. It's ballsy, but she's really considering that she wants to get down 39 with that move versus sort of going for the easier headwind 38 or 11 meters.
Or you could look at on it the other way as well. I mean, the softer option, putting 12 into the wind.
She's not worried about 12.
She's not worried about 12?
No, she's not. She's been skiing great. She's been into 39 nearly every round of that I've seen her ski, and she's another one who's really come on the last couple of years. She was capable of getting down 38 and into 39 once in a while, but I mean now it's almost a guarantee, and she's been running a lot of 4s. They ran a PB earlier this year of 4, and she's been getting to 4 a lot. So she's really going to be putting herself up there.
Alrighty, Roo. This here is Ellie Nicholson coming in on the 12-meter line.
Pretty shoulder heavy out of 1 there. Maybe didn't want to go that hard this early, but in the headwind she did well. Got a good edge change into 2, and she's pretty easily through this without any issues whatsoever.
I like the way she loads up. She does that very, very efficiently off the turn, and shuts it down pretty well too.
Yeah, she's another one. Almost, not to compare them directly, but her and Elizabeth Montavon, that sort of fairly straight-legged, fairly far back on the ski style, and it works really, really well. Ali's, got great technique, and we're seeing her use this ski really well here.
All right, so looking at the tail end of Ellie Nicholson and looking at the buoy cam here, exclusive to TWBC. And after we look at the tail end of this pass, we'll catch up with Wade, who is on the dock and standing by. Who do you have?
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm at the dock here with Karen Truelove. We just finished up your opening round. 5:38 your score, so you're leading the field. So tell us about that new boat that you're skiing behind as well.
We've been working on it for about the last 18 months. And there's, as everybody knows, we've already kind of gone through a couple of walkthroughs, a lot of improvements in the boat, and we're just excited to be finally able to do a pro event and introduce it and have everybody ski behind it.
Awesome, big smile. Anybody you want to say hi to at home?
I'm sure my mom and dad are watching, and hopefully my brother, he better be watching. So hi to you guys and everybody else from North Carolina, and friends and family. Miss you guys.
Cool, back to you, Tony. Thanks, Karen.
All right, and as we rejoin the action, we've just seen Ellie Nicholson just take the lead away from Karen Truelove, who we just saw being interviewed there. We do have the instant replay coming up, so you won't miss a single bit on that on this particular run. But I tell you what, she was aggressive on the previous passes, and no let up here either.
Yeah, this was aggressive skiing, and I like this. Pulled really long to 2, but watch the commitment coming through. That ski working really well for her out of both sides. Not the best buoy 3 of all time, but she, like I say, she committed, and she wasn't going to think about stopping at 5. She wanted the whole pass, and she's actually got a great opportunity for her to get a big score at 39 here with a slight headwind.
I'll tell you what, her rides were like, whoa, coming off number 5. They were open. They looked like headlights from like a Ferrari or something like that.
Yeah,
whoa,
big old headlights. Well, she's going to feel good about coming in here. She's taken the lead. That's great. She'll be happy. She's going to be at worst 5th after this round. But she was running 1s, I think, at Swiss a couple of weeks ago. She's going to want to be getting 2s and 3s and 4s, up there with her best ever, maybe even a PB behind this new boat. Let's see how she does.
Alrighty, Roo, here we go. This is Ellie Nicholson, the only person that we've seen thus far get onto 10.75 meters in the women's competition. Takes a big hit on number 1, round number 2. Oh, does she make a play on 3 and to the wakes? Yeah, there you go. That's, from my perspective, that's 3 at 39.5 off. But we're going to take an instant replay to see if she actually made it round buoy number 3. We definitely know she went round the first 2. That third one, we'll see if she got round it or whether she tried to oversell it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think she was really in great shape to get around 3 after this start, but really good skiing, and sort of just never looked sort of too stressed about it. Came out of 2 a bit averagely. We're going to see if she got around 3 here. I'd say that's inside.
That's inside.
I would definitely say that's inside.
Well, she tried to sell it, though.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's definitely inside. That's a 2 boys scored. Query why she had to do that big S turn when she knew she was inside of it, but bit of gamesmanship there. But yeah, 2 at 39. She'll be happy with that than what she had at Swiss a couple of weeks ago. And that puts her in pretty solid shape to make the final at least, and she'll be building from there.
All right then, so not looking too bad on the whole entire scheme of things. Ellie Nicholson, who works as a nurse, a recently qualified nurse, and works up in Escambia County, which is in the Florida Panhandle, and doing a fine job there.
Tony, your geography is just obscene, man. You're an animal with this geography. You know everything.
I try.
Beautiful.
All right, here we go. This is Brooke Baldwin. 14.25 meter start. Now here is a technique that definitely warrants a closer scrutiny.
Brooke's one of the more interesting skiers to watch. You know, I definitely, when I first saw her ski, I was just so amazed at how she's able to get those turns in. It's beautiful.
All right, let's tune into Wade.
Hey, I'm here with Ellie Nicholson, getting a little slack from her brother here. So how was it out there, Ellie?
It was pretty good. Scrapped my way through 38 a little bit, but got through it and got out of one ball this time at 39, so can't complain about that.
And a 3 on the board, and as we saw, you like that 32 tail, 38 head, and then you get a look at that 39, and you did good at it.
Yeah, I've said it before. I go out at 32 at home. I don't like to change it. I thought today we'd go for the tailwind 38 if it worked, and then I always got next round if it didn't work. So worked out in my favor, and I'm pretty happy with that.
And probably going to be able to sleep well tonight on that. Yeah. So good stuff. We're seeing another big smile. Back to you, Tony.
All right there, and we just heard from Ellie Nicholson, and some antics there from Zane Nicholson just before we hit that shot. That's what happens when you have a goofball for a brother.
It's so great to see those guys. They are the ultimate team players. I've heard that Zane, you know, when he gets a ski he really likes, he'll go, Ali, you got to try this, and I've heard on occasion he'll say, right, you ride it. You know, that's a great ski. It's yours. You know, that's what we need to see in water skiing is goodsmanship and supporting each other. This is not a solo sport. There is a team behind every single skier that we're seeing today.
All right, then, here we go now. This is Brooke Baldwin. 30 meters.
That offside is just amazing. She kind of gets all the way over the front of the ski and then moves her feet really well. It's phenomenal. Very different way of skiing. Not something that I've ever been able to do when I've tried to copy it, but it's great. Really great to see.
All right, then. So, Brooke Baldwin. Fine attempt there on 30 meters. And kind of skis up high a little bit going into the turn, and then just guides her feet underneath her body.
She's riding that Ion S, the softer version of the Ion that we've seen advertised a few times today. D3, another tournament partner that we're very lucky to have to put this event on, and she's doing a great job with it. Like I say, exactly what Tony said. You know, gets on the front and then just releases the feet right at the back end of the turn and gets the ski through, and it's really effective.
All right, let's hear from Wade.
Oh, yeah.
We're at Doug side right now, and Whitney McClintock-Rini getting warmed up, going through the motion, so to speak.
So I set this.
And far away in the background there is Brooke Baldwin, getting ready for the 12-meter line. Can get yourself a $100 gift card. Enter for your chance to win by going to wakehouse.com/MasterCraft Pro. That's wakehouse.com/MasterCraft Pro to win yourself a $100 gift card. All right, here we go. Brooke Baldwin, 12 meters. Now she's starting to find a rhythm and poise, and there we go. That is Brooke Baldwin with her third pass, a 6 buoy count on 12 meters. She gets ready for 11.25.
Watch this handle at buoy 2. Great buoy 1, but the handle came in a little bit high on the offside, came in a little bit early, so she didn't quite ride the ski all the way through, finished with the ski too much underneath her instead of like carving in front of her to the next buoy. Nothing crazy, but she'll want to be doing better than that when she gets to 38, where it gets a bit more crucial. Every movement counts.
All right. So Brooke Baldwin, fine effort thus far. Just really puts a high premium on being able to control that handle effectively, going into the pre-turn, going into the turn itself. You know, that affects so much your balance, your acceleration, the whole bit. As we have a look at the top 6 and see Ellie Nicholson with 2 at 10.75 meters, way out in the lead ahead of True Love, Garcia, Montavon, Rini, and Duperton.
Yeah, that wind just popping up. We're sitting on the side of the lake here, so we can sort of feel that on our backs. It's definitely coming across towards us, which means that Brooke's going to have a head cross into buoy 1, so it's going to be slowing her down big time into 1. That is her onside turn, so she's going to need to get a bit of speed, but she'll be good if she can get a good turn here at 1. I think she'll be set for the whole pass.
Needs
That's a great one.
Gets it.
Little forward there. Nothing to worry about. Not to panic. 4 is the crucial buoy. Is a lefty.
A little slide.
But yeah, I kind of knew that once she got out of 4, she was going to be fine.
Well, okay. We're chuckling a little bit here with that 6 ball when going through the exit gates, and we won't expand about that too much as long as she's within earshot. But any of you would have seen the tournament over in the Trophy Lakes a few weeks ago, we know exactly why.
We're happy that Brooke is through that pass fairly easily. Not her best offside that she's ever done, but you see just a little bit too much on the front there, so the ski bit. But 3 and 5, the onside, the heel side turn, really doing it for her, looking strong. So crucially, the next pass, it's going to be 39. Where the lead is, of course, with Ellie Nicholson. So she's going to come across into her onside turn. A little bit of wind behind her, so she might have a bit of speed, but she'll feel pretty good just watching how her onside turn has been performing throughout this whole set, that she'll be able to get that buoy 1 that she needs to get her across to 2, and then she'll be feeling good about maybe turning that when she gets over to that buoy. All very tactical at this point. Does she want to go for the lead, or is she happy with the 2? We'll see coming right up.
Well, I mean, with 6 buoys currently right now at 11.25 meters, it puts her guaranteed in the top 6 at the moment. But further she can get down this pass, that give her a little bit of breathing room. She gets round 2 to the wakes and ties the lead. There we go. That's Brooke Baldwin.
Yeah,
very tactical.
I was slightly surprised there because I thought it was a really good one. But like I say, that slight crosswind, making her narrow at 2 after throwing her into 1 a little bit. This is a good one. Gets over to 2 and then maybe just feels that she's narrower than she thought she might have been, and so she's taken it and she's equaled the lead.
All right, we've had a look at one instant replay from one direction. We'll see what the in-boat camera will pick up, and we're going to go frame by frame to see if she actually made it outside buoy number 2.
Looks very composed there into 1.
Yes, indeed. Now
but yeah, you can just see on this edge change here, she just didn't maybe commit. She just didn't, the ski never really moved out from underneath her, so she was never really in it for the turn and almost made her narrower. So 2's good, but 1 was solid. 1 was really good.
All right, now we're down to 3 more competitors to go before we round off this first round of women's slalom. And as you can probably tell, the wind is gusting up a little bit here, which is going to be okay for the jumpers. For the slalom skiers, not nearly as much.
I have mixed 1 or 2.
No, it's always a bit strange when you have your first pass in a tailwind. In pro skiing, your 4th pass is the must run, and the 5th pass generally is the one that you want to be getting big scores at. For the men at least. Whitney probably not that many sets into her comeback. I mean, I think prior to Swiss she'd had 4 or 5 ski sets, and to get back at competitive skiing so quickly after having a baby just shows her love for it, and it's in her blood. She can't get away from it.
All right, so 3 skiers to go. Manon Costard and Regina Jaquiss coming up shortly, but before them, we've got Whitney McClintock-Rini.
You can see it from one ball too, you know?
Hailing originally out of the Canadian province of Ontario, but now trains and lives extensively here in Central Florida with the Matt Rini's water ski school.
Tony, you don't have the exact town that she grew up in?
I know the lake.
Oh, do you? Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have doubted you.
Actually, Cambridge, Ontario.
Oh, there you go. Geography lessons all around today.
All right then, so Canada, and we have Whitney McClintock-Rini about to take to the course with the opening pass, 14.25 meters. Although we have actually seen one person go in on 13 meters, but given where Whitney McClintock is right now, I think a 13-meter start will be a little bit too frisky for her.
Yeah, she's been the person that's always gone out since I've been involved in pro skiing on the 13-meter opening line length, but I think it's probably smart to give herself a little bit of a warm-up, given that she's not had her ski leg underneath her for too long. Yeah, give herself one extra pass. Feel good about it.
And just allowing the ski to just rotate out and then just whipping the ski underneath the line.
That trademark spare hand kind of up in the air from Whitney, it's we've seen that over the years. Whitney, of course, a world champion in slalom. I'm going to get the rest of this wrong, but I feel like in tricks and in overall at 19 years old back in Canada.
Yep, 2009.
2009, and you were there for that, Tony?
Yes, I was.
There you go. I remember you had the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone had a cowboy hat. I mean, we went to the pre-event dinner, and they were giving out cowboy hats left, right, and center.
That's pretty cool. I remember you turning up at the World Championships in the Under-21 World Championships in Mexico at the end of that year, and you were wearing that cowboy hat. I was like, that's an audacious move.
I still have it.
That's awesome.
There's one thing that Alberta does is All right then, so Whitney McClintock on that radar slalom ski.
Yeah, Whitney's relationship with radar has been going back since more or less the dawn of time. She won the World Championships on, I believe, an RS1, that white and gold ski from the early days of radar in 2009. Yeah, she's on the new model, which is all quite exciting.
All right, and doing a fine job there, and we're going to get back with Wade in just a moment or so, but not until we've had a look at this instant replay, and slowly but surely getting back her form and her confidence and her just ease of running buoys out there on the slalom course.
She looks good. She looks really good. I mean, she's Swiss. I believe she went out pretty early, but here she's ranked higher because we're using a different list. So she's going to know exactly what she needs to do to get in the final, or at least put her in the top 6.
All right, let's check in with Wade at the dockside. What you got, Wade?
Thanks, Tony. Wade again here at the dock with Miss Brooke Baldwin, and I overheard, as I tend to do, third set on this new one, huh?
Yeah, just figured it was the best out of the 4 that I've been trying, and I might as well try it. I've got really nothing to lose at this point. It's the end of the season, so I don't know.
Now, sometimes that's a slalom skier sort of go-to move is let's go try something we haven't tried before, right?
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it's a different flex than my last one, so I'm hoping it'll help me make the changes that I need to do to get a bit further down the line.
So far, so good. 2 at 39 for Miss Brooke. Back to you, Tony.
Returning back with Whitney McClintock-Rini. Look at her go, round buoy number 2. I think she got into 38 off at the Swiss Pro Slalom a couple of weeks ago.
I believe she ran 2 and 3, or maybe a 1 and a 3, but she was in the early half of it.
But she's at that point now.
Yeah, she looks better and better. This is the Whitney that we know. and we talked about Moomba earlier. Whitney won something ridiculous like 37 Moombas in a row until she had to take a break this year. But she is so balanced both sides, and that's what you need to do well in those pretty horrifically hard conditions. So just seeing her improve week to week, it's great. And it just shows how once you had a baby with a bit of determination, you can get back to it very quickly.
If there's one year that you'd pick, just to take a break and drop a sprog.
Drop a sprog. Love it. Yeah, she did a great job. She picked a good year. No tournaments, really apart from Moomba, which she'd have been upset to miss, but she did a good job. Same with Rob Pagozzi. I mean, he's not been in the US this year, but he chose a good year.
All right, then. Looks like we got the stats here for Brooke Baldwin, 582, equivalent to 4.6 to 1 when measured against her weight. And A2 is the 0 off setting. Here we go now. This is Whitney McClintock-Rini, 11.25 meters. Now let's see what she's got. Round buoy number, very aggressive here. And gets round number 2 and to the wakes. That's going to be 2 for her. But not a bad little effort there.
Yeah, good effort. I mean, it's funny. I watched her ski, not super closely at Swiss, but I definitely feel like she looks better today. Again, just a little early on the handle and didn't let the ski finish at 1 on that onside. So stopping at 2, I think she might be a little disappointed just given how good she looked on the first few passes. But of course, I don't know how her training is going, and I'm certainly very impressed with how she's back on the water at this point.
Yes, indeed. She's still got a second round to come tomorrow, so I mean, she's still got another opportunity to put herself in the top 6 and maybe make it through to the next round of the competition. But as it stands right now, we're looking at 2 scores into 39.5 off. There are actually 3 scores at 3 at 38 off with Alex Garcia. We've got Karen Truelove in amongst that mix as well with 5 at 38 off, so that drops the 3s down one more position. But here we go. We got Manon Costard on the water. She is the current world champion.
She certainly is. She won that. Someone I know quite well, by the way. She won that in Malaysia last year, and she's been doing really well with her skiing. I'm slightly emotionally invested here, given that Manon is not just my training partner, but also my lady, my girlfriend, my other half. So if I go a bit quiet here, it's because I'm nervous.
Fair enough. I won't begrudge you of that. And at the dock side, we've got Wade. Wade, what you got? All right, then. So we're looking at the instant replay for Manon Costard. We'll check in with Wade very, very soon. But I mean, she just has an ease of technique around the turn. She doesn't look like she's in much of a hurry. I mean, well, it's 28 off for 14.25 meters. You would expect her to run this easy, but you can definitely get a sense for how skiers are going to run the next passes and see how aggressive that they exert themselves on the course. All right, you just seen a clip there from Conley Skis, who are offering up one of their brand new, spanking new slalom skis called the DV8 with the Versatile technology. And you can win yourself one of their slalom skis by entering the audience prize competition at waterskibroadcasting.com, and it will be signed by Manon Costard, no doubt.
She signed it yesterday in the shop. Yeah. It's the one I'm looking at right here in front of me.
All right, here we go. This is Manon Costard. Buoy number 1 and number 2. A little bit of a delay off number 2, but it's pretty normal for her to do that.
Yeah, I might be a little bit too close to this to give an objective view, but I think she's... personally think that she's one of the more technical skiers out there. She does a really good job. She uses her knees very well. And she's also someone that's not afraid to go for it. My favorite thing about her skiing is her offside turn. She where you see some people come into the offside and kind of maybe go a little bit easier, she commits 100% there. You can see that the water breaking so far up that ski, meaning that she's fully in control of what's going on.
All right, and whether you and if you're definitely in the market for a Conley ski and you want to check out their website, conleyskis.com, 50% off all items. The promo code to use is MCPRO15. That is MCPRO15. 50% off all items. Go to conleyskis.com. So that's a pretty deep discount whenever you're looking to purchase a slalom ski like a GTR or a Concept or even a DV8.
The Concept. Wow,
yes.
That's a blast from the past. It's great they're still making those concepts. I mean, I think really great that we're having companies support us that are going to give discounts to the viewers of this webcast, and I think people should be taking advantage of that. There's some good stuff on that website.
Yep, get on it. All right then. We got Manon Costard. Just pile driving. Look at that. Round buoy number 4, and just managing to keep the out ahead of her at all times, and that's definitely a worthwhile skill, a worthwhile tool to have in the bag, so to speak.
Yeah, she's again. I mean, just talking about her offside. She didn't get it. The best one of all time. The ski finished just a little bit in front of her. You can see that by the tip being up and her weight not quite being through the middle of that ski where you want it to accelerate. Not bad, but just watch this buoy too. Just pure commitment. The ski comes through beautifully, and she just gets her weight centered to get all the acceleration she can get that she needs to get across in an efficient manner.
And Manon Costard, I mean, a good majority of you out there in the audience have seen Manon Costard perform at this level recently. But I mean, she was on the top of the podium at the 2011 European Slalom Championships in the rain and in the cold of Skarnes in Norway, taking that title down.
Yeah, the first time she ever ran 38 off 11 meters and ran 2 at 39 and took the title that day. I remember I was there, didn't know her, very well at all at that point, but I remember being so jealous of someone that was actually younger than me, was the European champion. She's certainly a big game player.
And focusing exclusively on slaloming, I mean, she was a 3-eventer back in the day.
Junior world jump champion.
Yes, indeed. You're absolutely right there. That's Manon Costard, and on the water slaloming, nicely done. This is 11.25 meters. Oh, look at that. Scintillating turn there off number 2. Not bad. She's still staying ahead of the course, and I don't see much wrong with this pass, although my compadre to the left of me here sees 1 or 2 little wrinkles there that he'll probably expand upon within the next few seconds.
I didn't love buoy 1. She dropped her shoulder a little bit. I know her skiing, I'm not going to say inside out, but probably as well as anyone that isn't Manon. Just didn't look the most controlled here out of 1. But no, she was good. I'm just nervous. I'm overthinking it.
So Manon Costard, not looking bad. I mean, skiing up against that headwind at 11.25 meters, it puts her in a pretty darn good position.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure she won't mind me saying. I mean, we can see that back ankle strap that she's got on, and she's been struggling a little bit with a sore ankle. So she had some friends back in France last night show her how to wrap it properly, and I'm happy that she's got that through that 38, and she's got a good shot here. The wind has again got up, and so she's going to have a lot of speed at buoy 1, but I feel like if she can get out of 1, I'm super confident in her 2.4, as is she. So she'll be able to make that offside turn go well, and we'll see how she can do.
All right, let's see what she's got now. This is Manon Costard.
Solid 1.
Yes, indeed. Look at this. Round number 2. This is 39.5 off 10.75 meters. Oh, and still working, still trying to get as far as she can, and with 4 at 10.75 meters, she takes the lead away from that tied position between Ellie Nicholson and Brooke Baldwin, with Karen Truelove now being relegated down to 4th, and the tied score of 3 between Ali Garcia, Elizabeth Montavon, and Paige Rini currently tying for 6th place right now.
Yeah, shows what I know. Her 1 was really good. Her 2 wasn't as good as I would have expected. 3 was good again, and then 4, just sort of finishing a little bit strange. But I think her she's getting used to skiing with that strap on her ankle, and I think she'll be really happy. I mean, that's no joke, running 4 at 39 like that in a big tailwind, and you know, that's, I'm going to say, definitely put her in the final, and she'll be happy.
It's like a good tape job to me.
Yeah, she learned how to do that, and I'm happy that it didn't completely throw her off for today's ski set, because I think I'm not sure if there was only 1 round she would have done it, because it could have been awful. But obviously it's worked pretty well, and she's got somewhere to improve from.
And inside buoy number 5, that means it's a 4 buoy count, 4 buoys at 10.75 meter, leaving the way clear for our next and last competitor to take to the water. It will be none other than Regina Jaquiss. There's your stats on Manon Costard, 589, 4.2 to 1 whenever you compare it to her body weight, and she prefers Bravo 2.
B2, yeah, we've been skiing B2 this year, and the boat we have back where we train at the boarding school, one of our event sponsors, that's what we use on that boat, so taking it straight to this boat seemed, well, it worked for her. Less for me, Tony, obviously, but she did well at least. At least one part of the team has performed today.
All right, so
I'm going to go have a beer. I'll be fine after that.
got Regina Jaquiss, many-time world record holder, many-time world champion. All right, here she is, 55K, 34 miles an hour. This is a 13-meter start. 13-meter start, exactly the same line length that Ellie Nicholson came in on a few skiers back. Definitely see something out there that will benefit from a later pass start. And like I said, and I said it before and I'll say it again, I mean, Regina Jaquiss has this knack of making slalom skiing look slow.
Yeah, that was outrageously easy. Not an issue there in the slightest. But, you know, of course, you just would never expect it to be. This is someone that, you know, has broken world records, you know, a handful of times and has won a lot of world championships. So we're not going to see her mess up on 13 meters or 32 off.
And she's the only person ever to have won the Swiss Pro Slalom event.
Yeah, she's making all the other. I mean, that's going to be a big day in water skiing. I feel like when someone beats Regina, or if she, you know, decides not to turn up or whatever it might be, when someone else is able to take that title at Swiss.
All right, let's tune in with Wade on the dock.
Hey, thanks, Tony. I'm here in the dock with Manon Costard, our reigning world champ, who just finished up, and you're pretty happy with your run so far?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It felt really good. It was pretty windy, so I was, you know, a bit worried about how it was going to feel and how I was going to manage, you know, the head tail and all of that. And it felt really good. I felt like I was balanced. I felt like I was in sync with the boat. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited for this first round. And, you know, the 39, I did 4 at 39 tailwind, and it felt like, you know, I made a few mistakes, but I felt like I should, you know, be able to do more. So I'm pretty happy getting out of the set and thinking that I still have room to improve. And yeah, it felt really good. So I'm happy, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Well, good stuff. You heard it from Miss Manon herself. Back to you, Tony.
All right, back on with Regina Jaquiss. Not looking too bad at all.
Just seeing a Wade Cox there with Manon Costard on dockside as we get ready to look at the instant replay for Regina Jaquiss, and messages coming through on our comments here on YouTube. And an old friend of mine, Glenn Campbell, is calling you out there, Freddie. He calls you a big softie with a girlfriend.
That's typical Glenn. I mean, that's the sort of thing you expect from someone that can't down a pint of beer. But you know, that's fine. We won't hold. Glenn's just trying to be an alpha male, and that's quite cute. He's a good guy.
For the most part.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say for all of it. Glenn, I wish I'd been able to catch up with him this year. Of course, I've been over here all year because of the old COVID. But yeah, typical Glenn. Give me some ribbing.
Tuning in from the town of Spalding in Lincolnshire.
There you go. There you go. So of course we've just seen an advert from Good Skis. Regina's been again just synonymous with those guys since forever, and has seen just unbelievable success, unparalleled really. She's won everything there is to win. She's done everything there has to be done on a good water ski, and you know, we're seeing her watch the easiest 11-meter pass of the day for sure. Like literally just stands up in front of boy 6. Very, very good.
Nicely done there. That is Regina Jaquiss. She's run through 13 and 12, and that was 11.25 meters. Just like that. And I mean, and like I said, I mean, she just has that knack and ability. She isn't the tallest of our slalom skiers. I mean, but she proves to every single person out there that being tall is not the end all and be all of high class slalom skiing. It takes a certain determination, a certain strength, a certain will to get around all 6 buoys, even on the shortest of line lengths. And Regina Jaquiss has actually seen the shortest of line lengths. You know, among our women's competitors, she is the world record holder.
You know, I think it's always said that you're much better off being very tall when you're riding a slalom ski, and that is, you know, often the case. It does help, but what Regina has done, which is so impressive, is she's used her low center of mass, which is, you know, important on a slalom ski to stay connected to the rope and to not get pulled out of position. She uses that so well, and that's where, you know, she's not lamented being, you know, not being the tallest, and has used what she has to the greatest. The greatest level. So yeah, we're going to see her coming in at 39 and 10.75, and let's see. I mean, she needs 4.5 to take the lead. She's been running this a great deal, a little on the heels there at 2, but you know, she knows she's going to get.
Whoa! Look at this! How deep she was there. Number 3, number 4. Oh!
That's 5. And I'm going to say that's a little bit of an upset. Okay,
yeah, it is.
But we've seen Regina run 39 a lot. You know, she hasn't really been missing it. So let's watch this. And I'm going to ask you guys watching this, watch buoy 3. Watch how deep she was at buoy 3, which maybe she didn't like. You know, it was great. It got her across to buoy 4, but it was maybe a little bit off balance. 1 was great. 2, she kind of sat on her heels. She really went for it at buoy 3. And then at 5, I think she just tried to be a little bit more conservative, and it didn't come around. Like that's fine. Like I said, using that low center of mass to you know, get behind the handle. But I thought she was running this here, and let's see what she does. I think.
And for her to basically stay on top of the water after number 3 is remarkable in itself, and not too sure what happened there on 5. But I think a lot of what happened there on number 3 determined the course of what was going to happen on 5. But looking at her in the instant replay,
that's an easy one. It's a good one. Pulled pretty long to 2 and just finished. I mean, it's not terrible, but just a little bit on her heels. Didn't quite finish with the angle she wanted. And watch the tail of the ski slide through. It really came through. And you do want to get big turns, but you don't want to be off balance. And that was on the edge. And I think she just second guessed 5 a little bit, went easy, and then just, yeah, the ski came up.
All right, then let's go to the dock and Wade, and you have a special guest there, Wade.
Thanks, Tony. On the dock here with Miss Regina. So, still leading, but a little bit of a boo-boo there. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like when I miss 39, so I'm not happy at all with my skiing. It's fine today. It's top seed, not where, I mean, yes, that's where I want to be, but of course with myself, I'm not really happy with it, but I mean, it felt good. I haven't skied out here in a very long time, so maybe that and the new boat, just trying to get used to the feel of everything. So maybe tomorrow, obviously it's going to take to run in, and I don't like missing that, so I guess that's out of the way for the weekend.
Well, good stuff. So, will you make any sort of alterations, any change in game plan, like per what you felt? I mean, this is like for those guys watching on their laptops right now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like I'll kind of go back and cool down and not get so mad at myself mentally right now. Think about it, maybe watch the webcast, see what I need to do, either change something on my ski, fix something to make it better, fix something on me, just kind of go back and get to the game board and come back out tomorrow for the second round in the finals.
There you go, from the champ. Back to you, Tony.
All right then, and that brings to a conclusion the women's slalom for round one. Stick around because in the next few minutes we will go on to the jump event, the first 2 rounds of jump this afternoon. Regina Jaquiss, your leader in the clubhouse right now, with 5 at 10.75 meters, 1 buoy ahead of Manon Costard. Then you've got a 2-way tie for third between Ellie Nicholson and Brooke Baldwin. Then you've got Karen Truelove with 5th place with 5. Now here's the intriguing bit. We have got 3 skiers that are currently tied in 6th place right now between Ali Garcia, Elizabeth Montavon, and Paige Rini. So all to play for in round 2 tomorrow there, Freddie.
Yeah, certainly. You're probably going to say that Regina, Manon, Ali, and Brooke are probably in the final. Yeah, they'll feel good, but there's going to be a battle there for the 5th and 6th place. Karen will be happy that she's out of that 6th spot, but she'll be having to fight tomorrow potentially if someone pokes out a big score. Here we go, the rope tension leaderboard. So Manon had a 3 at 10.75, going 389 pounds. That's pretty good. And Brooke, maybe being one of our really lighter competitors today, getting a big tug there from 5 to 6 at 11.
And then there's a huge drop-off between Brooke Baldwin and Ali Garcia. Ali Garcia with 5.53 at the midway point on 11.25 meters. So that's the leaderboards right now. And those of you that are just joining in, welcome to the 2020 MasterCraft Pro competition. We are going to go on to the first of 2 rounds of men's jump in a few moments. There is our schedule. Our current time right now is 25 minutes to 2, which means that we're almost bang on schedule.
How's that for efficiency, Tony?
Yes, indeed. All right, then. We'll return right after this. You are watching the continuing coverage of the 20 MasterCraft Pro right here at Lake Karoo, the home of action water sports and ski fluid. Back in a few.
Lessons learned from the silent flight of owls has been applied to aerospace and to Formula One racing. Now, they've been applied to the water ski fin. Coming soon, the Whisper Fin Pro.